Good evening, class. Professor Wallace. My name is Nicholas Schuch, and I'm going to be doing my video today on Benjamin Franklin and specifically some of his inventions and ones that are still around today. Now, I know many people may know Benjamin Franklin for his contributions during the American Revolution and the building of a new nation through the overthrow of a tyrannical British government. Now we can argue, Britain's level of tyranny another day if any of you would wish to do so. But to be honest, before that, or leading up to that, Franklin was already becoming a very renowned individual in the worlds of literature and science more specifically. Ben's mind was never really one of those that rested during his lifetime. So instead of relaxing and sipping wine and doing whatever early American colonists did for fun, which arguably could have been any chauvinistic undertaking, Ben would instead always be searching for ways to improve living standards, and not just his own living standards, but the standards of living for those around him in his community as well. So this caused him to be very, very curious about how things worked, specifically the inner workings of certain things. And this I would contribute mainly to a lot of his outlook as a deist, or those who believed in God as a clockmaker, and the world is God's clock, and they just he created it and just let it be. It's a very laissez-faire type creator. So we actually have a lot to be thankful for due to Benjamin Franklin's curiosity. First and foremost, his experimentations with the lightning rod that led to electricity, which even the making of this video would not be possible if it wasn't for him. Now that's an extreme side of the equation, and a more, I guess, lower level of that would be just the flat out the lighting, the heating, the cooling that wouldn't be available in his time, that that came from that. Now, since we mentioned heating, Franklin also invented his namesake stove, which also helped with heating until advances in technology could be made, I believe, some 200 years later or something. I'd have to look that up to figure out exactly how long. I'm sorry. So the name for this stove is sort of a misnomer today, because it wasn't really used primarily for cooking as it was for heating the room or an entryway like that. And so what it was, the Franklin stove was a metal-lined chimney, and it helped increase the amount of heat that stayed in the room, but also decrease the amount of smoke that stayed in the room as well. Now, like I said, it wasn't primarily for cooking, but still cooking at the time was made in the fireplace with wood and pots and all that. So, like I said, the name could be considered a misnomer today. As many of you know, Franklin also invented bifocals, not glasses, but bifocals, so the doubled use of bifocals. So he made medical advances as well, creating the urinary catheter. And for those of you who aren't really too familiar with what a catheter is, maybe you want to look that up. I don't want to make anyone too squeamish here by explaining what its uses are, but to be honest, if you never have to know or use one, you're probably better off. And lastly, he even invented the little flippers that divers and swimmers wear on their feet. I think they're sometimes called swim fins. So, like I previously stated, we have a lot to be thankful to Benjamin Franklin for, and many of his inventions continue to help us today. I hope everyone enjoyed this quick video. I certainly look forward to watching all of yours, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and you all get everything you want out of this class. Take care. God bless.